Hello gamers, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about something I picked up recently that I was very skeptical on for a while, and that is none other than the PlayStation Portal. Now, a lot of people might be thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Why would you buy a dedicated remote play device? Well, there's a lot of different reasons, and one of them is because I like being able to play JRPGs. I really picked up the Portal for one specific reason, and that is to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's a massively long game, and I don't want to be stuck in front of a TV or my computer monitor for hours upon hours throughout the day. So I decided I wanted to go ahead and try to pick up the Portal and see how well it worked. Now, just like many of you guys who might be watching this video who haven't picked it up yet, I was extremely skeptical because I didn't know how well it was going to work. I haven't had the best experience when it came to remote play. A lot of times it was very pixelated, it was laggy, the signal would drop in and out, and I didn't want to have to drop $200 or more on a device that isn't going to give me a smooth experience. So I was really skeptical, but I finally decided, okay, I need to pull the trigger at some point, and I knew a friend that owned one, so I reached out to him, got his input on it, because I knew if anything else he would at least be straight with me. Like, if this thing was not worth it, I knew for a fact he was going to tell me the truth. So I went ahead, pulled the trigger, and I spent a lot of my time playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with the PlayStation Portal, and since then I actually been testing out a lot of different games. I tried to test out different games from different genres to see how well it would work. Like, I started playing Dragon Ball Fighters, and I really wanted to test the latency and all that stuff to see. It's one thing when you're playing a JRPG like Final Fantasy Rebirth. For the most part, it's pretty steady. You know, you're not doing a whole lot of crazy stuff unless you're in combat, and it works absolutely flawlessly in that scenario. So I really wanted to put it through its paces. So of course I tried Dragon Ball Fighters because it's a fast-paced action fighting game, and to my surprise, it worked out very, very well. Like, it is absolutely flawless. And since then I've been testing it with a lot of different games, and I'm really surprised how much I actually love this thing. It's been a massive lifesaver. Now, there are certain things that a lot of people have problems with. I watched a lot of videos, and a lot of people have certain problems that me personally, I just don't feel like are problems. So I kind of want to go over that. So right off the bat, I want to say it works great. I'm having a great time with it. It's flawless. I haven't had any connection problems. There are certain things you need to do. You need to have your PlayStation Direct connected to an Ethernet cable to get the best possible connection. Also, there are different settings that you can go in and you can change to make that connection even better. Of course, farther away you are, the worse the connection is going to be. Now, I'm lucky that in the living room, in my bedroom, it's about maybe 20 to 30, 40 feet away from my PlayStation 5, and I get a great connection. I have no problem. My PlayStation 5 is direct connect. Like I said, I'm playing Final Fantasy fighting games in different genres, and they all work good. Now, getting to some of the complaints that I've heard about that I personally just feel are ludicrous is the fact that you can't use Bluetooth headphones. Like, that's not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal. In the back of the PlayStation Portal, there is two ports, your USB-C port for charging and a headphone port. Now, the reason why this is not a big deal, because unlike most consoles, the ports aren't at the bottom of the console. There's a little lip in the back which protects the ports. So when you're playing the game, if you're laying in the bed or whatnot, the cords are not being pressed against either you or your bed or anything. It's just hanging out the back, and they never interact with you at all. So I play this all the time with either being charged or with my headphones in there. I hook up my Turtle Beach headphones to it, and I don't have a problem, and it sounds great. I don't need Bluetooth. To me, that is just kind of being spoiled. Yes, there are workarounds where you can hook a Bluetooth headset up to it if you want to go around and do all the workarounds to do so. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. I still remember going around with a Walkman in my back pocket. So to hook a pair of headphones up to this device that isn't a big deal to me. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it whatsoever. Now, speaking of hooking this thing up to the charger, let's talk about the battery life of the PlayStation Portal. So a lot of people have complained about the battery life. I think the battery life is pretty good. Now, just like any portable device, whether we're talking about the Steam Deck, the Nintendo Switch, or whatnot, you shut off certain features, you get more battery life. Now, if you want the haptic feedback and the full vibration and the brightest screen, yeah, your battery life is probably going to be limited to about an hour and a half to 2 hours. But for me personally, I shut all that stuff off. Vibration, shut it off. Haptic feedback, shut it off. Brightness, just enough brightness that it looks good to me. I don't dim it all the way down. I still want to make it look good, so I put it about the halfway mark. It really depends how much light is in the room that I'm playing in. So if I'm playing in a bright room like this, I'm gonna turn the brightness all the way up. If I'm gonna be in my bedroom, in my bed, while my wife is trying to sleep, I'm gonna turn that brightness down a little bit. So it's all about where you're at. But if you shut off the vibration and haptic feedback and stuff, I sat in bed and I played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for 4 hours, and it was about at the half battery point. And then, like I said, you just pop this USB-C in the back of it, and it can charge while you're playing, and it doesn't really interfere with anything. So those are some of the nitpicks and complaints that I've heard about the PlayStation Portal. A lot of people think this device is worthless, but everything has a purpose. It depends what you want it for. If you want a device that you can go on the go and play your games, well, you probably want to pick up a Nintendo Switch, a Steam Deck, or something like that, one of those handheld PCs. That's not what this is. This is something where, hey, if your wife wants to watch The Bachelor for some strange reason and you want to play Final Fantasy, then guess what? This is the perfect device for you. And you just sit on the couch and you play your games while she watches The Bachelor. If you want to lay in bed and just kind of relax and lay back, you can do that. This device is perfect for that sort of thing. And as a JRPG fan, it's perfect because in JRPGs, you do this little thing called level grinding, where you have to grind to max out your level so you can get strong enough to move forward. Sometimes you don't want to be stuck in front of a TV just looking at it endlessly as you're doing the same task over and over and over and over again. The level grind. Sometimes you want to put a movie on or listen to some music and just sit back on the couch and just level grind while you're watching a movie. And that was one of the biggest selling factors for me to pick up this device. Now, I will tell you this, I just want to hit on this real quick. This thing might look ridiculous, and believe me, I was one of the ones that were making fun of it when I saw the design. I was like, man, this is just a PlayStation 5 controller split in half with a tablet in the middle. Yes, it is. And you know what? It feels great. I was surprised at how comfortable this thing feels. This absolutely feels so great in the hand. The thumbsticks are right there, perfect where you want them to be. The buttons are there where you want them to be. The screen is the perfect size. The resolution looks beautiful. Literally, I cannot praise this thing enough. I was so skeptical going in, just like a lot of people. A lot of people are like, $200, you know, that's a lot of money. Why should I even invest in something that's just a remote play device? You know, I understand that, but I was completely shocked and I fell in love with this thing. There are a couple things that do annoy me. The touch screen, to use the center button, you have to hit the touch screen and then you have your center, your touchpad from your PlayStation 5 controller. That's a little wonky. Sometimes I have to hit it multiple times to do that. I don't necessarily like that. I wish it was just a designated button on the controller itself, or maybe a button in the back that you could just hit. Another thing I really dislike is the fact that you can't stream games on here. Now, that is something that Sony did mention when the product was being released, so I went in knowing that. So it's not like it was a big shock, but you know, one thing I really enjoy about PlayStation Plus is the fact that you can stream games through the cloud service, and believe it or not, it works very well. A lot of people think of cloud streaming and they go like, oh my god, it's evil, kill it with a stick, but it's not. It's really awesome. Sometimes I like being able to browse through a library game and just click it and then start playing and not have to install a massive game. Unfortunately, you can't stream games yet. I wish they would put out an update where you can actually go through and stream games, but as of right now, you can't do that yet, which is very unfortunate. But like I said, I'm hoping for an update and maybe that would work, because that would make this thing even better. But the good thing is you can still go through PlayStation Plus and just download a bunch of games, and then you can just play it seamlessly that way, and it works perfect. So overall, in closing, PlayStation Portal, was I absolutely surprised by this thing? 100%. This thing shocked me. I use this every single day. In fact, I haven't touched my Nintendo Switch since I got this, and a lot of games that I have on my Switch, like Star Ocean Second Story, I want to pick up again on the PlayStation, because now I can go through it again in portable mode again and actually get trophies for it. So it just kind of opens up more playability with me. I don't always have an opportunity to get in front of the TV and play my PlayStation game. I can pick this up for like 20 minutes and just go through and play a little bit. So it gives me more play time is what I want. So if I'm editing a video and I'm waiting for it to render, I can just put this on and play, and it just gives me, it just opens the door for more things to do. And that's something that I praise the Nintendo Switch and Steam Deck for. So overall, highly recommend. Positive review from me. Yes, there are some nitpicks out there, but I think the positives far outweigh the negatives. But that's just my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. Have you picked up the PlayStation Portal? Are you looking to pick up the PlayStation Portal? Does this video change your mind? Leave those comments in the comment box below. Smash that like and subscribe button. And until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms, and thank you so much for watching.